Today, I'm going to rank Omaha suburbs from worst to best for a variety of factors. We're not just talking about home prices or really anything in particular. This is just what I hear, general sentiment from people that live in the Omaha Metro. This is what I gather from my information. Obviously, this is entirely subjective, and you might feel completely different than me on all of these, but this is just talking through some of the pros and cons and what I feel like is the worst Omaha suburb to the very best Omaha suburb. My name is Morgan Putnam and I am a local realtor. Let's get into it. Thank you so much for stopping by the Omaha Insider YouTube channel. Please take a moment to like this video and to subscribe to my channel so you're always the first to know what's going on in Omaha. I also have a free Omaha neighborhood guide that you can download on my website. And so if you're trying to figure out which Omaha neighborhood's right for you, this is a very helpful guide to kind of navigate all of the different neighborhoods in Omaha. First, we're going to talk through the worst Omaha suburb in my opinion, and that would be Bennington. Bennington is beloved by many, so obviously take this with a grain of salt. This is just my opinion. It is really great for folks who are looking for almost a small town experience, but still being pretty close to the metro. So this is just on the north side of the Omaha Metro, and it really feels separate than Omaha. To get to certain parts in Bennington, you're going to be driving through cornfields or through like forests. There's a lot of different like acreages that are within Bennington that are in between Omaha and Bennington. So in these acreages take up a decent amount of space. So it just really feels like you are in a separate place and it can take a while to get there. That would be my biggest complaint with Bennington, is that it just really feels separate. And then that doesn't even include the fact that there's not really a grocery store in Bennington. There's a very teeny tiny little downtown area, but it does not necessarily provide things that you need day in and day out. And so you're going to be driving 10, 15, 20 minutes to get to some of these things that you really rely on a lot. But on the flip side of that, people love that about Bennington because they feel like it really is separate, but you're still a part of the Omaha Metro. Out of the 5 Omaha suburbs we're talking about today, I would say Bennington falls in the middle as far as price goes. So the average price for a home in Bennington is $465,000 and the median price is $385,000. And it did come in with the most expensive home sale out of all these suburbs is in Bennington, because Bennington Lake is in Bennington and those homes out there are incredibly expensive. So the most expensive home that sold in Bennington was $3.5 million in the last 6 months. So that just kind of gives you a frame of reference that you can get very luxurious, lovely homes in Bennington. And then the most affordable home that sold was $165,000. And this, out of the 5 Omaha suburbs, Bennington has the longest days on market. So that means the longest time that it gets listed to when there's an accepted contract on it at 55 days. And that just is reflected because there is a decent amount of new construction in Bennington. That's really it's a great place to build because there's a lot of different neighborhoods and developments out in Bennington to choose from, and the lots tend to be a little bit cheaper than what you might find in Elkhorn. It's really great for new construction, but that will pull up that days on market. And the 4th best Omaha suburb is Gretna. It's on the southwest corner of Omaha, and again, it's because it feels really far away. It can take a while to get to the interstate from Gretna, and so it just feels like you are out and separate. But again, that is what some people really love about Gretna. It's similar to Bennington. It feels really separate. And so you are not necessarily getting caught up in the hustle and bustle of the Omaha Metro. You can truly just like hang out in Gretna. They have grocery stores, they have Target, they have all the things that you need. And so you don't really have to come into the Metro like you are going to have to for Bennington. Hy-Vee built a state-of-the-art grocery store out in Gretna. So it's really awesome for folks who are wanting almost that small town feel, but to still be connected to the Omaha Metro. It's also a great place to live for folks if somebody needs to commute to Lincoln in that household, but then also somebody needs to commute to like downtown Omaha. It's a good middle ground for that. It's really close to Ashland, and so there are great things about Gretna. It's just, it feels pretty far away. The average price for a home in Gretna was $476,000. The median price for a home was $400,000. The most affordable home that sold was $220,000, and the most expensive home that sold was $2 million. And the average days on market from a house to go listed to going under contract was 49 days. So it is a little bit shorter. It's about a week shorter than Bennington. And that's just reflected that people tend to be a little bit more drawn to Gretna. If you're considering Bennington or Gretna, I feel like you Generally, people choose Gretna over Bennington just because it is a little bit more connected to the metro and it feels like it's just more self-sufficient in and of itself. There's also a lot of new construction in Gretna, so if you're wanting to build, it is a great place to consider. If you're thinking about moving to Omaha and you're curious about Omaha neighborhoods, please download my free Omaha guide. It's on my website, www.heymorganputnam.com. Next up, the third best suburb of Omaha is Bellevue. Bellevue is an entirely different feel than Gretna and Bennington. It is much more established. It is actually the first town that was founded in Nebraska, and so there is a very cute downtown area with a lot of very affordable, adorable homes surrounding that old town Bellevue area, and yet there is still new construction happening in Bellevue. Bellevue is heavily influenced by Offutt Air Force Base. There is a lot of folks that move in and out of Bellevue because it is so close to base. Bellevue is also the most affordable suburb of Omaha. It is right along Highway 75, so it's very easy to get downtown into Eppley Airfield from Bellevue. And just in general, the houses are going to be a little bit older than what you're going to find in these other suburbs that offer the new, shiny, amazing houses. And again, you can find that in Bellevue, but it's not necessarily as common as the other suburbs that we're talking about today. The average price for a home is $308,000, and the median price for a home is $292,000. The most expensive home that sold was $1.3 million, and the most affordable home that sold was $35,000. And yes, that did need basically torn down. Because it is a lot more affordable, the days on market are the lowest of all the Omaha suburbs at just 26 days on market for a house to get listed to go under contract. And the second best suburb in Omaha is Papillion. People love Papillion. And again, it's kind of like the perfect balance between Bellevue and Gretna, where you're getting a lot of new construction in Papillion, but it is much more close to all of the things that the metro offers by just being just south of the central Omaha area. So people love that about Papillion because it is really close to the metro, but it still feels totally self-sufficient in its own bubble. It has all of the stores that you need and want and come to rely on in day-to-day life. And Papillion offers a whole range of pricing for folks to find really the house that they need. It has affordable homes, it has more expensive homes, and it still maintains that very suburban feel while still being really close to the metro compared to a lot of these other suburbs that will feel quite a bit separate from the Omaha metro area. So it's kind of that perfect balance, and you can get downtown relatively quickly, 15 to 20 minutes from Papillion versus these other suburbs that are going to take quite a bit longer, especially during high traffic. Papillion is also heavily influenced by Offutt Air Force Base, and it is pretty easy to get from Papillion to base, and so a lot of folks will live in Papillion, especially if they're wanting that more higher end feel that Papillion will offer versus Bellevue. And so Papillion is about 10, 15, maybe 20 minutes to base, depending on where you're at in Papillion, how far west you are. The average cost of a home in Papillion was $443,000 over the last 6 months, and the median price was $415,000. The most expensive home that sold was $1.5 million, which is pretty low, I would say. Normally, it's usually quite a bit higher than that. And the most affordable home that sold was $175,000. Days on market are 32 days, so about a week longer than Bellevue, and that just reflects because the pricing is a little bit higher, but it's still a lot faster than what we're seeing in Bennington and Gretna. It's because there are more existing homes that sell there, so inventory tends to move faster than new construction, but there is still a lot more new construction happening in Papillion than in Bellevue, which will drive it up to be a little bit longer for days on market. And then the number one suburb in Omaha Metro is Elkhorn. Everybody loves Elkhorn. It tends to hug Dodge, that main thoroughfare east to west in Omaha, so it's really easy to get anywhere in the metro from the Elkhorn area. It's really going super far west. It's butts right up against the Elkhorn River, basically the whole stretch of the metro. Almost all of Elkhorn is new construction. There's a little tiny pocket around 204th and Maple that is the old Elkhorn area, and it is adorable. It has a super cute little downtown, but the majority of it is all new construction, which I think is a big reason why people love it. It has all of the glitz and glam that people want with new construction, and the price tag shows. So it is the most expensive out of all the suburbs to live in, but people love it because it is so easy to get downtown from Elkhorn. Village Point is a part of Elkhorn. Avenue 1 is coming to Elkhorn, which will be another mixed use, mixed development. Elkhorn also has the Methodist Women's Hospital, which is an awesome asset to have out in Elkhorn in a more west location. The average cost of a home in Elkhorn is $607,000, so that is significantly higher than any of the other suburbs that we've talked about. And the median price is $518,000. The most expensive home that sold was $2.6 million, and the most affordable was $272,000, and that was in that older Elkhorn area. There are a lot of expensive homes that sell in Elkhorn, which is what drives up that average cost to $607,000. So, and it shows Elkhorn is very desired by a lot of people, and there's just a lot of new construction that happens. The average days on market from a house to be listed to going under contract is 45 in Elkhorn. So again, it's just a very desired location. I hope this was helpful in ranking the 5 most prominent Omaha suburbs and how they kind of rank compared to one another and how people tend to feel about them. Let me know in the comments if you totally disagree. This is, again, obviously incredibly subjective, other than what the houses are selling for. That's just the straight facts. Everything else is subjective, and this is what I have gathered and what people tend to tell me when we're talking about Omaha suburbs. But if you feel like I'm wrong, I would love to hear about it. And please download my neighborhood guide if you're thinking about moving to Omaha and trying to find out what neighborhood is right for you. It's free on my website, www.heymorganputnam.com. And also you can call me or email me at morgan@heymorganputnam.com or 402-720-9886.